Well, sticking with that holiday theme, the shopping season may be winding down, but that means gift return season is in full gear. Here with advice on how to make returning those unwanted gifts hassle-free is retail expert and WebiMax CEO Ken Wisnefski. Welcome back to the show. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Gerri.
I'm looking at some of the stories out on returning gifts, and it seems to me that retailers might be getting a little stingy here. What's going on?
Absolutely. Retailers are definitely taking a harder stance on returns. There's a lot of reasons why. Obviously, with a lot of returns, it can really kill your profits. And additionally, there's been a lot more fraud that goes on. People doing everything with e-receipts and actually returning stolen merchandise that hurts the people that are out there just really trying to do right and return gifts that they didn't really want.
Yeah, I'm hearing about box of rocks where people like take a very heavy gift, maybe steal it in the first place, and then return the box sealed but full of rocks. So there's a lot of fraud going on out there. Is that the reason these retailers are getting so stingy?
Absolutely. Again, scenarios like the box of rocks, when done on a large, grand scale, can really impact profits. And another big phenomenon that they've seen that kind of goes on is something called wardrobing, where people come in, buy an outfit, wear it for the holiday season, and then return it. So all these things impact your average consumer, and it hurts us.
All right. So when it comes to consumers who are on the up and up, though, I want to be able to return gifts if I need to. Do I absolutely, in every case, have to have the receipt?
It's always good practice to save the receipts. I'm really bad at saving the receipts. My wife always tells me to. But nowadays, it's becoming a lot more important because a lot of retailers won't even consider taking returns without the receipts.
23% of Americans who returned a gift recently said they didn't get their money back. What's going on there?
A lot of times what happens, especially when you look at, when you're focused on online purchasing, you find that these really small retailers, they don't even have the cash flow to be able to return that money to you. Even on Amazon, sometimes people think that they're making these purchases through Amazon, but the reality is they're making a purchase from a really small vendor or small retailer, and in turn, they don't have the money to be able to pay you back.
Wow. And I also hear that a lot of retailers out there, when you bring something back, often they can't put it on the shelf, or if they do put it on the shelf, it was seasonal merchandise. It's difficult to move. One of the responses to that is to charge a restocking fee, something I hate. Who's doing that this year?
A lot of places. When you look at some of the main retailers that have really gotten kind of stingy around this, Sears is one that's really gotten a lot more difficult. Barnes & Noble, when you're talking about books and things like that, they've also gotten a lot more difficult to be able to return. And you can see even in bold letters on their receipts now, their return policies, and they've instructed their employees to be a little bit more emphatic about how they're accepting returns. So clearly it's a concern, and it really has a lot to do with the bottom line.
Okay, what's your best advice then to people who might be returning a gift tonight or this weekend? What would you tell them?
Well, I would say that the best thing to do, if you bought it online from one of the big retailers, take it back to the store. You've got a much better chance of being able to get it done in store as opposed to having to pay shipping and return it in some cases. But the biggest thing I could say, save your receipts and don't open the box if you really didn't like it.
We talked about receipts earlier, but what do you do if you don't have a receipt?
The best thing to do is go in and, again, if the merchandise isn't still in good condition, a lot of times you can talk to a manager and the concession might be giving you store credit, which still would be good. If you don't get a full refund, getting store credit might be just as good.
Yeah, I'd rather get the money back. That's just me, Ken. Thanks for coming on.
I would too.
Good to see you.
Great talking to you.
Happy New Year.